Hey guys, this is Space Marine 658 here. I know it's been a little bit. A lot of that's been due to waiting on my new graphics card, and I got a lot of work done, but I just want to make sure I had something pretty nice to show y'all before I showed it. So let's jump right into it. So as you can probably tell, there's a bit of an apartment building right here. So this is what I've been working on. There's still some little bits here and there I'd like to work on it, but overall I like the look of it. It's meant to be very simple. It's a little too fast. Let's turn down that. But yeah, so I've got all this. I've got some decals for it, kind of break up some of the sameness, and there's a few more I want to add. He is actually backwards, I believe, is what causes this. Let me just, yeah. Some of the decals do that, which is a little odd, but yeah, so I've been working on this, kind of getting the hang of Archipack and using it to kind of make some really cool layouts. So let's jump into the game, show you what I've worked on as far as, so with the player, so if I open up in here, I've reset the skill tree over to here, and I'm going to add probably a title for this. So there's going to be 3 branches overall. There's going to be ones more like fitness and endurance. There's one that's going to be like dialogue, give you sort of abilities to kind of convince people a little more. And then there will be one for combat, which will give you better shooting and stuff. So right now what this does is some of these have descriptions, some don't, because I'm still working on kind of what I want to do with them. Like I'm not sure what I want the different branches to be, because this is a split branch. I do need to have a marker for that, so that it'll be easier to tell, like, if you pick one, the other one will not be allowed. But so this one is fitness, and being a SWAT member, your bodies have been able to adapt, so you select that. Now eventually that'll actually have a bonus. I'm not sure what I want to put for that one. This one's endurance. Training night and day has allowed you to keep up your energy, increase stamina by 10%. And this actually does work. So if I close out that, you won't see it there because it probably increased quickly, but you do have more stamina now, which is nice. And then down here, got this gun, which I have worked on a bit. I've been trying to work on adding more decals and stuff. So right now I've been struggling to try and find out how to like mark the different materials. So that's something I'm still working on. But right now, when the bullets collide, let me actually turn this up a little bit. When the bullets collide, they should make an impact sound. I might have actually turned it off, actually, thinking about it. Because I'm trying, so there's 2 different things I'm trying to do. Is if I can get the material that the bullet is colliding with, it'll produce different sounds and have a different decal. It is something I'm struggling with because there's not a lot of good documentation without using physical material, which I want to avoid because it does use a little bit of render time, and it's not going to provide any other benefit because I'm not doing a whole lot of physics interactions. And then let's come in here. So in here I've done a bit of modeling, kind of laying out the inside. I do need to swap out that light with a 3D model, but it's been pretty good for now, just a placeholder. But yeah, I think these look pretty good in place. There's some blinds I've got working, coffee pot, desk and keyboard over here, and then rug, this is actually done with a decal, which actually I like a lot because it looks realistic enough, and you don't actually use a whole lot of rendering for it because you don't have an actual physical object. It's just a decal, which it's very lightweight when it comes to rendering. So that's nice. And I've got different blinds just because I wanted to have a few different ones. I do need to fix them because it looks like some of the light overlaps, so it creates this kind of weird shadowing. I'm not sure what's going on with the light map, but I fixed them, but it's still not working properly, so I'll have to actually improve that. And I do need to fix this, where you can kind of clip through the blinds. A lot of that's just due to how close the camera is to the player. I need to create like a, what do you call it, a near clipping plane that kind of will make sure the gun in the hand will always stay first and foremost, and kind of make sure the player can't get too far forward. But yeah. So there's all that. And next I'm going to kind of work on, adding details. So like a closet is supposed to be here, so I need to add a closet door, maybe like a wall mount back here that'll have like a shelf and a spot to hang clothes, maybe some hanging clothes from there. And then a bed and stuff over here, maybe a TV across the way. I'm not sure exactly how I want to lay out, and each floor will be a little bit different. So that'll be pretty neat. Let me actually go eat real quick. I think I got apple over here. There we go. But yeah, that's all working in the game too. I can't remember. I believe that was already in the game before, but if you haven't seen it, there you go. You can actually eat and drink now. And actually stop your health from going down. And I've actually got, so if anyone's a fan of Brian David Gilbert, this is a sort of reference to that episode. This is just part 1. Eventually I'm planning on having the full thing in book form scattered throughout the game. I thought it'd be a neat little reference, including the little spray paint wall that I've got in that one room. But yeah. So I think that's about it for this week. I will see you guys next week. I should have a lot more progress. The reason why progress was a little slow these last 2 weeks was 1, waiting on that GPU, and 2, I've kind of been just figuring out how to 3D model in an efficient way. Because before I was making models and the triangle count was just too high. But with this guy, as detailed as he is, because each one of these is a single floor, and then I combine the 2 meshes to make an entire apartment building. But this guy by himself, without the doors and windows, of course, is only 2,000 triangles, which is pretty dang good. And that's before any LOD system kicks in. If I drop back, it'll bump him up to 1,000. So I think it's pretty good, pretty well optimized as far as just how much it takes up. And the distance field isn't too bad because of the shape of this. It's pretty easy for it to render. So I'm pretty excited about how it looks. And then let me actually go back. I am still working on the top of this building. Eventually I want to take this AC system and kind of have some sort of pipes coming out of it to run AC to the different parts of the building. So maybe there'll be like a silver exhaust running over here and something like that. And this is actually my favorite part because, so there's a, let me click on that so it's out of the way. There's a famous photo, or semi-famous, I guess, photo of Kowloon, which is what this is based off of. That has like this like pit where all these buildings come together, but there's a little gap between them all, and there's some windows facing. And this wasn't originally intentional. I didn't plan on having this in this building. But after putting the 2 side by side, I saw this gap and I really loved it because it really does look a lot like it. Now the one in the real one was a little more square, a little less of this like angled. But like my plan is eventually come down here and fill this with like trash and garbage and make it look like people have just thrown shit down in here. Because that's what they did in the real Kowloon, because they had nowhere to throw the trash, so they just started throwing it wherever. But yeah, I like that, and it makes me really cool to see stuff like that. But yeah, this next week I'll probably be working on more art assets for that bottom floor, as well as probably another building or 2. Now that I've got that one kind of out of the way and I've kind of figured out how to 3D model what I want, next I'll probably work on redoing this building, but all in a 3D model. Just because I think that this is a really important building and I want to have it, pretty set in stone. Now this one isn't too difficult, so what I probably will do, rather than exporting all this, because that would just pain in the ass, is I'll probably come up here like this, take a screenshot of the layout, and I sort of know the layout I have inside, and I'll just kind of like use paint or something and mark the internal structures roughly, and then just come along and 3D model it and have it all laid out. But yeah, I think that's it for this week. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next week.